This is happiness, to be everything at once. Be unblinded, be unlearned, be unbridled and unburned.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Mood Prep. My name is Dave Nixon, and today we're going to go into the discussion of empowerment. So, I can't remember where I spoke about this recently. It may have actually been on a webinar within the Coaches Circle or on Mood Prep Online. Either way, maybe it was a podcast. I don't think it was, but today it's going to be. So I'm going to talk about empowerment and how I view it in the fitness industry and health industry, the personal training industry or coaching industry, and then talk about like a basic format of codependent patterns and how that fits into the conversation. So one of the common terms that we see in the fitness industry is about empowering others, right? It could be in the human potential space as well, but I think there's a certain level of it being a hashtag quality of word, and then it actually being a word with depth and meaning and action and behavior behind it. So we're going to look at it from this space of branding, really, because a lot of the time people are using it as branding. Even if they're using it in a conversation, it's just branding. It sounds nice, people want to be empowered. The question that lays, and I don't know the answer to this for each individual person and each individual business, but is that person and or business actually empowering, right? Because there's a really important distinction to be made here, is that if something is empowering you to make some significant changes and results in your life, the question is, if you were to remove that thing that empowered you, would you then still be empowered, right? Because empowered is about being in my own power, not handing my power over to somebody else. And this feeds into one of the meta programs or thinking patterns that you could think about, called external or internal authority. And so if I get somebody in that's either in a coaching space or in the gym, and I do notice that they're handing over a certain level of authority, everything from what do you think I should do to what weight should I do to questions similarly associated with that, or maybe they're telling me stories where they won't do something because they're scared of what their mother might think of them or whatever it may be, right? And so because of that, this external authority that is a pattern within their language and their behavior, I then become very cautious of how I then deal with that individual, because what happens is that person might, if I give them a diet and I give them a program, they're going to fucking follow it to a T. Hey, like, especially if I keep trying to motivate them, especially if I keep trying to keep up with them and make sure I'm being that person, sure, they're probably going to get results. The problem is that as soon as you remove me out of the equation, that person will start to look for a new external authority. What never happened is I never actually empowered that person to step into their own personal power, to be able to take control of the situation, to be able to make decisions on their own, and to be able to find their own way. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have mentors or coaches or anything along those lines, but here's the fucking key. Coaches don't create codependent patterns. Now, a codependent pattern is also known as a drama cycle, and you'll see that. Imagine, draw a triangle, right? So we're going to draw a line, a horizontal line. Underneath that line, you're going to write codependent patterns, and you're going to draw a triangle underneath that word, codependent patterns. You're going to put at the top, you're going to put rescuer of the triangle. On the bottom left, put victim. Bottom right, put aggressor. Now, the interesting thing around this is that drama cycle, the victim actually needs both the aggressor and the rescuer. The rescuer needs both the other ones, and the aggressor needs both the other ones, right? And this plays out like, this is also a human communication model, but it goes past just simply humans communicating and interacting with other humans, right? But this is where people stay stuck in the drama cycle, and drama can still be like, a comedy is still a dramatic show, right? So it doesn't mean that it's always like this drama. What I'm getting at there is that if I'm being uplifted by someone, I'm being empowered by someone, right? And they're my rescuer, but I keep them on that pedestal as my rescuer because they saved me from the depths of hell, then what happens is that I always stunt my growth of development and human potential, because I'm sticking to them being the thing that saved me rather than me taking responsibility and control of my own life, right? And so this is the thing with the drama cycle, is that a lot of trainers and coaches may accidentally keep their clients here. I mean, even to keep money, even to just keep money in the bank, right? To make sure that they have repeat customers. Like, I'm going to keep this person, they'll do it unconsciously, codependent on me, so I'll make sure I go above and beyond for the client. It's like, hey, being over responsible is not cool. Like, I don't get my clients' results. They get the results. I'm like holding up a mirror for them. They do the work. I'm not doing the work for them. Why would I take their wins? Why would I do that to them? Why would I take their losses? Why would I take their lessons? That's theirs. I'm going to help them see how they can own it and then fucking own their life. That's a big, big difference. And so the thing around this sort of empowerment space is, if this is something that you're using, what I really encourage you, my offer for you, is to really look and go, are you empowering, or are you simply like telling? Are you creating these codependencies? And within these codependencies, what happens if you were to be removed? What would happen to the client, to your friends, and all that sort of stuff? Or do you like, because hello, type 2s here, and especially type 3s as well, if you're familiar with the Enneagram, right? It feels nice, it feels good, right? To be associated as I'm the person that helped them, because now I'm of value, and I've confused myself because I think that my value is heavily based off what other people think and how they depend on me. That's not your value. That is not your value at all. Like, you don't come with a value, right? I just got offered a book to read, which is called Pearl Beyond Price. I haven't read it yet. Apparently it's a phenomenal read. But my point there with the Pearl Beyond Price is that a pearl has no price. Other people decide that it has a price, its value. But the pearl doesn't have a value. It's just a pearl. It's valueless. It doesn't have it. But it's also valueful, right? And so the thing is that we're exactly the same. We don't have a price. We don't have a value. And when we understand that, then we can start to like fucking shine ourselves up, without it sounding corny like some sort of Rihanna song, and actually be able to be that pearl, actually be able to be that rock, or in my case, a diamond. But in that circumstance, the beauty of all of that is that that's empowerment. When I can see my pearl, not my price, because my price is often is heavily invested in somebody else's opinion. And if I'm running that external authority program, then there's a good chance that until I can free myself from that fucking rubbish, until I can really see it and really know and understand where it came from, and then see the frames that hold it up, when I can free myself from that, then that's when I step into my empowerment. Now, here's the thing: as a client or trainer, or a boss or a leader or whatever, empowering is allowing these people that are being mentored, that are being coached, that are being trained, that are being led by you, to be able to step into their own power. So the thing is that you might be getting these people results, but are you fucking cutting their wings? Because so many people do that. I mean, I've done it in the past. Maybe in a roundabout way, I'm still doing it now that I'm completely blind to, that I'll see in 5 years. I don't know, right? But I see it. I see it as much as I can at this moment. And it's just like, I'm not willing to take on your drama. I am here for the human being. I'm invested in the human being that's listening to this, that's in front of me in the gym, that's in front of me on a Zoom, Skype call. I'm invested in the human being, not the ego traps, right? Not the ego traps or not the egoic frames that person's holding on to. Hence why it doesn't bother me if someone gets offended. Just be offended. What's that about for you, right? It's an interesting time that we live in. This is why we should be able to lose our concept of self so we can find it. And that's that, team. Thank you very much for tuning in. The Mood Prep Intensive 2-day weekender is coming up. It's on the 9th and 10th of March. The details should be up on my social medias. I've already got the stuff. Johnny got back to me. Johnny's my website guy. But I'll put it up on Instagram anyway, the link to it, if the early birds want to jump on it. They're half-price tickets. Otherwise, if you found this podcast beneficial, it would mean the world to me if you'd pass it on to someone else that you think would also find it beneficial. If you haven't already, jump on Facebook, search Mood Prep Online, and rock and roll in there. Team, that's it. I'm out. Until tomorrow. Peace and pizza. Kick today in the dick. Slay the dragon. I'll see you soon.
Be unblinded, be unlearned. undone, but